You're rushing it. Why do you always want to rush stuff?
Well, we've only got 6 more weeks before
Don't
WrestleMania.
mean nothing.
Right.
Don't mean nothing. You could make something happen in 6 minutes. Okay, so stop rushing stuff. This is great. You shouldn't see him right now, because now this builds the heat. The heat is building. So when you do see him, you're gonna see how they explode on it.
All right, Hulk Hogan commented on John Cena's heel turn. He was saying, quote, "Well, we can definitely see Cena now, can't we? We know who he is now," end quote. But I'm going to be honest with you, I can't see him still because he's not appearing on any TV shows except PLEs. And now coming up, by the time you're watching this, he's doing the extra special tours with WWE across different countries. But for the last couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw, we have not seen or heard from John Cena. I don't know that that's a good thing or a bad thing. Teddy, what are your thoughts on not following up one of the biggest angles with absolutely no Rock and no Cena?
You're rushing it. Why do you always want to rush stuff?
Well, we've only got 6 more weeks before
Don't
WrestleMania.
mean nothing.
Right.
Don't mean nothing. You could make something happen in 6 minutes. Okay, so stop rushing stuff. This is great. You shouldn't see him right now, because now this builds the heat. The heat is building. So when you do see him, you're gonna see how they explode on it.
Bill, your thoughts?
And remember now, you don't have to have John Cena on TV when you have wonderful heat-provoking promos like from people like Cody Rhodes on there. They're talking about John Cena. The broadcasters are talking about him. The wrestlers are talking about him. The fans are PO'd about this whole thing. Also, Cena's in Europe filming a movie, so it's probably easier for him to get where they're going to be. But he doesn't have to be there. The Cody Rhodes interviews have been so hot about John Cena, you don't have to see him.
All right. Roman Reigns returned at Madison Square Garden at a recent Raw, and he attacked Seth Rollins and CM Punk, as a matter of fact, after the steel cage match. Teddy, I'm not sure you had a chance to see this because this just happened just last night before we started recording, but one of the best cage matches I've seen, minus blood. It was actually very entertaining. Bill, did you agree?
Oh yeah, it was very very entertaining and violent. You know, people are trying to compare it to the days of like Snuka and Backlund and those cage matches. Different time, like Teddy all says. It was great for the fans of today, but when I look back at what cage matches looked like back in the Snuka time and the Backlund time, you can't match it up. Much more violent back then.
No.
Right. Well, it had to be violent back then because that's how you drew money. You had to make the people believe, and you had to show them something that they would believe.
My question now is this. Here's my question about that cage match. Paul Heyman cuddling up with CM Punk, trying to calm him down because he had lost the match. What happens now with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman? Because they left that hanging. Roman Reigns was not too pleased that Paul Heyman was in there with CM Punk.
Well, let's also not forget that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk a favor. And so that favor could end up being maybe, Teddy, what do you think, a triple threat match at WrestleMania?
It's possible. You know what I mean? Right now, with everything kind of brand new, we just can't predict it. We don't know what they might do.
It looks like that may be where they're going, and I'd be okay with that, actually. That triple threat match sounds pretty good to me. But like you say, there's still plenty of time. You have 6 more weeks. They could mix it up a little bit more.
What I think they'll do is wait and maybe tease it until they involve Heyman some kind of way.
Yeah, I like seeing Heyman. Heyman, to me, is one of the draws and one of the things I like to see on Monday Night Raw. I mean, honestly, he's one of those characters I love to see. Speaking of something, one of the characters that I used to love and I'm confused by now is somebody that we talked about on a recent show, Carmella. Now, Carmella has recently spoke out against WWE. It seemed like a week ago we were just talking about her saying, well, she admitted that they gave her a name and a platform to build her name and become who she was. Well, now she's saying she was punished, she thinks, for having a baby. Saying, quote, everyone just ghosted, completely ghosted. What if this is the end of my career? What am I going to do with my life? What do I have to offer? Why wasn't I given an opportunity somewhere else? I feel like I'm being punished because I had a baby. Why would you want to be somewhere that doesn't want you? End quote. That's from Carmella. Bill, does that surprise you to hear those words come from Carmella?
Yeah, I think, WWE is it's a company. And if the company doesn't have a plan for you right now, if you want to take it personally, you can take it personally, but they probably have nothing for her at this point. And saying something bad about the company may make the company say, well, she's knocking us, maybe we don't want her back.
Yep.
Well, here's what I see. Now, I could be wrong. They probably had a whole lot of plans for her and had already written a bunch of stuff for her to do. And now I don't know this, I'm just saying this, and she probably never told them about the pregnancy. She didn't tell them about that pregnancy until it was too late. If after they done wrote her in, got this big program for her, now they got to cancel everything that they've done. You see what I mean? I think that's how it happened. I don't think they're punishing her for having a baby. Come on, man. Wait, this ain't. Some of these things these people say is just unbelievable. Why would you punish somebody because they're having a baby? All she had to do was just be a woman about it. And when that pregnancy first happened, she probably thought about it too. Well, I can't tell them I'm pregnant. I'll probably lose my job. No, if you tell the truth, you'll probably keep your job.
Her husband, Corey Graves, felt like he was being demoted for being from the main roster down to NXT right around that same time.